So myself, a buddy, and his brother, we road tripped down to Baltimore for the Baltimore Comic-Con. Second year I've gone to the show. It's a great show. Let's see what I picked up and the experience that I had up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hello panelologists, this is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. And before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the description of this video for links to eBay store, email, whatnot, Instagram, all that good stuff. So I'm just going to get into it because picked up a lot of books and a lot of fun at the Baltimore Comic-Con. So my buddy who owns the LCS, he had a couple free passes. So we decided to road trip down to Baltimore for the Comic-Con.
Or by like again, that's what it was, kids.
Oh, was I supposed to take that? 62? No, we have small. You're the son of the. It says on branch.
Oh, Fat Street.
So you're the spooky image. Is that Mr. Gunn? Because that's because I have these.
To get your wristbands, right?
These guys like playing.
So we got into the show. His brother was there along with us, and we just had a really good time. We went down very early Saturday morning, and then got into the show. And so I had actually been trading emails with a fellow YouTuber, Rusty from Collector Auctions, and he had sent me his phone number, so I texted him when I got on the show. So we were able to meet up and for the first time in person and chat a little bit. Hey, I just got into Baltimore Comic-Con and ran into Rusty from Collector Auctions.
Hey guys, how you doing?
And what are you here waiting on?
We're waiting to get signatures from Walt Simonson today, so that's the first thing for the day.
Yeah, well, you're early in the line, but I hear Walt tends to be chatty. So
Well,
the line moves kind of slowly.
Very slow, because he'll start doing sketches, he'll get up, he'll walk around, so it may take several hours before I even get up there, and I'm only about 20 people back.
Well, good luck. Hopefully pick up some good stuff. I haven't even picked up any comic books yet, so we're going to start hunting, and we'll see what I pick up.
Oh, good luck.
Thank you. The same to you. So we're going to just go through the show floor. So I went through the morning. Now, one of the great things about this show for me is I'm a little bit out of my area, so there are a lot of vendors that I don't ordinarily see. There are a few that I do see in some of the local shows, but a lot of new ones. And it does have a lot of Golden Age books, has a lot of more niche books, and you're not just hunting, Copper Age keys or 90s keys, that kind of thing. And I was going with a little different purpose, but we want to take a look around at a little taste of what the show looked like.
Good morning, Baltimore Comic-Con.
You got to write this on. It's a good idea.
Thank you all for coming out for day 3 of our 25th anniversary show. We're thrilled to have everybody with us today. We're thrilled to have our guests, our newest guests and contributors over at Aim Hit Go. We're going to play some video.
I was hunting all morning, and then we went out to lunch right across the street. There's a really nice place. It was a beautiful day out, so we were outside, eating outside in the open air. And then I went back to dig some more, and they decided to go to the hotel. We had gone to the hotel and parked in a parking garage close to the hotel and left our bags there. They went back to check into the hotel and grab their bags and take a little bit of a nap, but I was going to do some comic hunting. Now, we had tickets to the Baltimore Oriole game. My buddy, and I didn't check it, my buddy thought it was a 7 o'clock start. It was actually a 4 o'clock start. So I get a text at about 4:30 that the game started. So I finished what I was doing, walked back to the hotel, got my bag, got into the room, and then we headed off to the ball game, and it was actually a really exciting game. We got there in the 6th inning, and it's only the second time I've been to Camden Yards, and I think the first time was it was 15 years ago. It was 2009, and obviously the Orioles are having a great season. They're chasing the Yankees, so I was kind of rooting for the Tigers. The Tigers are really hot. They've been playing amazing baseball for the last month, but their closer couldn't hold it together in the 9th inning. The game went extra innings. The Orioles tied it up with 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th, but they came up short in extra innings. But it was a great experience with some really good seats, and that was it. We went out to dinner, and then we kind of just hung out for a while, and then I was going through my comic books that night. We were looking what each other got, and so let's take a look at the comics that I picked up on day number 1. Now, I had a couple of purposes. I was trying to complete some runs with some dollar bin diving, and I was looking for Golden Age books. So one of the runs that I had cut off for some reason early on, and I picked up, what is this, 5, I don't want to show them all, 6, 7, 8, 9, these were in 10, I think there were 15 copies of Batgirl. This is the Cassandra Cain version of Batgirl from the early 2000s. I had like the first maybe 20 issues or 15 issues. I didn't have issue 12. So, yeah, dollar bin, just picking up a bunch of these. Maybe it was $2 bins. I don't remember. But that was just kind of filling in that run. That was one of my goals. I had left the house with a list as I went through my checklist of books that I needed to fill runs alphabetically up to D, right? And I had some success and getting close, and we'll see what runs I did fill in. I picked up this book too. This one I always seem to grab. Brave New World #1, first appearance of Ryan Choi, the Third Atom. I always tell the story that I talk about this book so much that I had somebody named Brian Choi as suggested as a friend on Facebook. That's somebody I may know. Pick up this book. This is going in the spec pile. This is actually, let me put it in an actual different pile. This is DC Comics Presents 52, first appearance of the Ambush Bug. Seems like a character that James Gunn might gravitate towards. And then these were, I don't know, maybe 3s, there's 5s, there are different prices. There was I had picked up a bunch of Blue Devils. I'm pretty close to the entire run now, I think, if not the entire run. So those are all PC books. I picked up one of these Blackhawks by Mark Evanier and Dan Spiegel. Gil Kane cover. This was when they relaunched. I guess what's rebooted? Rebooted and relaunched aren't the right words when they continue the numbering. Restarted, I guess, the book in the mid-'80s. I need just one more now issue to complete my Booster Gold run. And what else do we have? Oh, this was interesting. I picked up, because I thought the prices were really good on these, I picked up 4 issues of Forbidden Tales of Dark Mansion. Issues number 7 and 8 are from 1972. I think these may well be upgrades to my DC 1972 collection. And then 9 and 10, just really cool covers. I believe this is Neil Adams. You can kind of tell by the line work in the hair. And then this is Nick Cardy. I also can tell it real quickly by the hair on the dude there in the bell bottoms. So this is going to go probably into a Bronze Age horror night. We'll be doing Bronze Age horror. Let's see, the 31st is a Thursday, the 27th of October. I also picked up a few. These will go into Bronze Horror. Witching Hours. This is a title people like. It's like one of the kind of underappreciated that people are starting to get into, the Bronze Age horror titles. And then I picked up this. And this is definitely going to be cleaned and pressed. This is a very minty copy of Venom #1 Newsstand. Right? We're talking about the 90s. Newsstand's a little rare. This book, there are plenty of them out there. 9.8s can be a little bit difficult because you get one spine tick and you ain't getting it out, really. It's going to break color. This in a 9.8 is about $275. So I'm going to put that gently over there. That's going to go in the slab pile. I also already have issue #1, but they were real. I forget. These were, what were these, $2? Let me actually check. Checks notes. I actually have notes. Because when I put everything into CLZ, I record when I got it, where I got it, and the price I paid, and also what I think the condition of the book is. So I kind of have these, maybe too voluminous. My records are too voluminous. These were how much each? $2. $2 a piece. So I figured, hey, if this dude ever comes to the DCU, why not? That goes in the spec pile. And then we got, some more Blue Devils. These are probably also in the $2 bin. Yeah, as I said, I think I've nearly completed the run now. There's just, how many do I have here? 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, 12 issues of Blue Devil. Just random issues to fill in the run. Not a lot of keys, but just kind of figuring I'll, it was a run I didn't pick up in the 80s, and now I'm picking it up. Then one of the books I was hunting for is Action Comics 379. That's going PC. What's next? And Action Comics 359. These are both in pretty decent shape. They do have some tanning on them, but there's no creases or stains on the cover. So good, solid upper mid-grade books for 12 centers. I picked up this. I like this cover. It looked, I really want, this is one of the DC ones I want in really high grade, the Justice League ones, but there's a little crease up in the corner. That will just throw into the, where am I putting? The books for sale. I'll throw that there. This one, I only need 2 more issues of first issue special. I think I kind of avoided both of the Joe Simon issues. All right, and the Green Team Boy Billionaires. This is a nice copy. This is like a 9.2. So that's going in the PC pile. I just need 1 more issue of first issue special to get all the first issues. This first appearance of Mongol. I forget the discount that this table had. It says $10 on it. I probably paid a little bit less. I paid like, it was like a third off. So I have this at $6.67. What I paid for everything. They were like the deals. I think it was, yeah, that's what it was. It was $10 each, 3 for $20. So that is going into the spec pile. That's a book I've been specking on a bit recently. Another book I wanted for the PC, Beware the Creeper. Trying to finish off that run. Issue number 6. I think that was that same 3 for $20. And then I went to a dealer, and he had some variants, and I asked, do you have any Mike Allred Batman 66 variants? And he dug this book out. And I just think this is... I'm trying to get all of these. This one particular month. Basically, it was month 31 of the New 52. DC did a bunch of 1 in 25s by Mike Allred because they were publishing the Batman 66 series that he did a lot of the covers for that. And basically stories in the universe of the Adam West Batman 66 show. And they had crossovers with the Green Hornet and Steve and Mrs. Peel and Archie. But they did variant covers. So this Batwoman variant is really cool. An imagining of what Kate Kane, or Kathy Kane, I should say, from the 50s might have looked like had she been on the old TV show. And you see the Batman 66 variant. This is a really high-grade book. That is going in the PC. And then I was looking for this. This does have one stain on it. Otherwise, it's pretty nice. I did not pay full sticker price for this. Adventure Comics 301. I think this is the Origin of Bouncing Boy. And I just need 2 issues. I cannot find... I think it's... What issue is it? 311? I can't find that to save myself. Right? Somebody had like 4 copies of 312 and no 311. That's definitely PC. Trying to finish off the Adventure Comics, or finish off the run. But as I was digging through some boxes, there was something I found.
Oh yeah, right over here.
And run completed. I have every issue of Aquaman now. And here it is. Aquaman number 28, Nick Cardy cover. King Aquababy says thumbs down. Yeah, Aquababy never survived to be king. And Nick Cardy cover, Aquaman 28. This completes my Aquaman run. I have every issue, I believe, of Aquaman ever. Silver into bronze, up to copper, and all the way through. So I did not pay for this. I saw this book in lower grade, like one of the first tables I saw, because I was, flipping through the Aquaman section of the box, and somebody had this for $75. I think I got this for about $30, maybe a few bucks more. So that was a much more reasonable price. And this book is in better condition than the one I saw at the beginning. So there were some vendors that I thought their prices were a little aspirational. And then at that same booth, I picked this book up. This has kind of been on my hunt list for a bit. For 2 reasons, I'm trying to work on this run. Now that I finished the Aquaman run, I finished the Hawkman run. That's 2 of the 3 individual superhero runs that I started as a kid for the Silver Age, because at the time when I was like 12 years old, I said, okay, I can complete these. I can get all of the issues of this because it's finite. I can't get every issue of Superman or Batman or even Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, or Flash. But I can do Aquaman, I can do Hawkman, and I can do the Atom. So this is Atom number 19. I still need a handful of issues, especially early ones. I don't have one. So that may be in my 2025 collecting goals. But it's also the first cover appearance of Zatanna. Murphy Anderson cover. So that was nice to add to the PC. Then I started hunting Golden Age. May 1946. I used a random number generator. There's no reason behind it. It's not the month I was born. It has no significance to me other than I just wanted to collect a slice of the Golden Age, like a kind of a cross section. So I chose May 1946 completely by random, and I picked up, I think, 8 books from that month. Here we have the Punch comics in a pretty solid mid-grade. This is Punch Comics number 17. This is probably the worst cover in the run. There are a couple of classic covers that are really expensive. This one is not expensive, but there probably are Punch Comics completionists, just because I think it only ran maybe 18 issues. So that adds to the Golden Age collection. That I think I got these from Harley Yee. Yes. And he was great. I showed him my list. He started pulling books out, and gave me a little bit of a deal. But he was very gracious in helping me find specific books, because he knew what he had and what he was looking for. And then this I was real happy to get. And it's also similar condition, pretty solid. And that's the Blue Beetle 5.5. Now this is like Blue Beetle came out quarterly, but they only listed 2 months, March, April. The next issue number 42, is June, July, I think, or even July, August. So this includes May. This would have been on the stands at the same time as the other May 46 books. It's a pretty cool cover. There was another, I forget who this was. This I got a few things. Wings Comics number 69. That's a Fiction House book, and kind of a good girl cover. Fiction House is popular among Golden Age collectors. You got Wings, you got Rangers, you got Jumbo and Jungle, I think, are the 4 main titles. There also, I think, is another airplane-related title. Issue number 1 of Curly Ko by Sam Leff, I guess a comic boxer. This is kind of similar to another character who I got a book of also. Popular Comics, and this is interesting. You got Felix the Cat as the main thing, and then Smilin' Jack and Terry and the Pirates. So there's Milton Caniff art in this. This is from Dell. And also May 1946. Spring 1946, issue number 1 of Lance O'Casey, the seafaring hero of Whiz Comics. And you got little, this is lower grade, but it was the number 1, and it was like $30. Hi, kids. I want you to meet Lance O'Casey, the greatest adventure to sail the 7 seas. Here he is in only 68-page thrilling comics magazine, Captain Marvel. So that's a pretty cool number 1 to add to the collection. And I'm I like to get the books in more solid condition, like kind of shooting for the 6 to 7 range, which is difficult for the Golden Age, especially some of the less popular titles that people aren't really looking to save or haven't been looking to save over the last nearly 80 years. So that's kind of fun. So Lance O'Casey, a little bit lower grade. You never know. I could find a higher grade copy at some point. None of these books, I bought one slabbed and I cracked it out. They're all raw. Maybe when I get fairly close to completing the run, and it's going to be tough because there's always going to be some esoterica that I didn't find. But when I get pretty close, and I have all the major books, basically the DC books, the Timelies, Quality Fawcett, Fiction House, Dynamic Comics is probably the most expensive book from that month. When I get all of those, probably what I'm going to do is I'll do like a 25 book vintage submission to CGC, and get the better grade and the better value books grade. I think that would be kind of a fun unboxing to have just all Golden Age from the same month. So that was my haul for Saturday. We went back on Sunday, and I'm just trying to. There actually there was a little bit of a problem when we went there. As we were, where there were all these sirens as we were walking towards the convention center, and it turned out that there was some sort of fire. You could see like the smoke billowing. Across the street here from the convention center, we've heard all these sirens, so I guess this is what they're responding to. That does not look good. Everybody seemed to be fine to get to the show okay, and it seems as though they'll let anyone into the show. Who you run into at a Comic-Con?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
You pick up any good books, Joe?
Yeah, I picked up this one from you.
Very nice. How many ASMs do you need now? Do you know?
16 now. 16 issues, yeah.
Including number 1?
Including number 1, yeah. Which is probably last on the list.
Yeah.
Unless I find one. You can find it in the wild. You never know.
Yeah, find it in a garage sale or something.
Yeah,
You never
$5
know.
maybe?
Maybe 10.
Flea market? Yeah, I'll pay 10 for it.
Yeah,
I can splurge a little bit on the ASM1.
Yeah, that's, big boy book.
Yeah.
So, well, enjoy the show.
Yep.
Should be fun.
Thank you.
So there you see my buddy Joe from 360 Comics. We had worked out a deal for the ASM 5 I had picked up. And so unfortunately, it gave me some more cash to spend. And I went around and I was looking at more comics. So on Sunday, one of the first booths I saw had in the corner a romance section. I said, what the heck? So I picked up a whole stack of books from them, and I got some other non-romance books. So I was hunting. Their prices were, they gave me a bit of a deal, but the prices were still fairly close to FMV. And these are all, well, almost all, DC 72, which the most difficult books to find in the wild, certainly. You can get some of them on eBay, but even then it's not guaranteed, are the romance books. So I picked up a lot of DC 72 romance books. Heartthrobs, number 145. Girls Love 171. Falling in Love 136. Young Romance 183. And you can tell the DC, these 52 big pages, don't take less, only 25 cents. This logo was used from July of 71 to June of 73. So since this has a June cover date, that places it in 1972, as does this issue of Young Love. This is a little bit beat up on the spine, but it's a nice, at the very least, placeholder for now. One of these, I forget which one it is. Oh, I think it's the next, not this one, but the next one, is Young Love 92. Okay. Why can't I make her understand that we can't get married? Nice cover. This one, number 190 or 91 of Young Love, is got a page missing. And then the other books, well, I picked up, those are all from 1970. Yikes. Those are all from 1972. So I'm going to put them there. And then I'm also working on the DC 100 pagers, and the tougher ones to come by are, again, the romance books. So this is Young Love 109, Young Romance 202, and Young Romance 197. As it is, I'm not necessarily a big romance collector, but they kind of fit into that. And then I picked up one other book in that regard. One other, well, from this particular vendor, one other romance book. And this, I saw it and I thought the price was good enough, and I grabbed it. It is Vicky number 1, from the very short-lived Atlas Comics in the 1970s, Atlas Seaborn. And this was kind of their teen humor magazine. This is a square-bound 50-cent book, so it's kind of double-sized. It ran 4 issues, was I think as high as, maybe there was an Atlas book that ran 5 issues, but most of them just, they were in and out. They changed creative teams. They changed the concept of the books like after an issue or two. I call it, for those of you who are old enough to get the reference, the World Football League of comic books. The World Football League was a professional football league that started in the mid-1970s and lasted a season and a half. They were able to recruit some top players, especially from the Miami Dolphins, including Mercury Morris, who just passed away recently. Did Mercury? No, it wasn't Mercury Morris. It was Larry Sonka, Jim Kick, and Paul Warfield were the three biggest stars they got. So that's cool. I do have a bunch of Atlas Seaborn books. I didn't have the Vicky #1. I probably do a whatnot sale of those. So then I started digging through the rest of their boxes. Another run completed. So this was the second run I completed. This I probably have stuck to the back of something else, but when I was going through and reorganizing my books, I didn't have this. I picked up every issue of The Simpsons since it came out, and this wasn't amongst them in my... It might be lost somewhere else, but I feel better now that, like, I have in CLZ, it'll say 1 to whatever. And so I should have every issue of The Simpsons, and I was missing a couple of these, for some reason, the Bart Simpsons, and I picked up numbers 6 and 7. So those, again, all PC books. Then I found another Golden Age book from Bedrock City. It said how Curly Ko is probably a ripoff of Joe Palooka. There were a couple of Joe Palooka runs. This is the one that ran through 1946. And then I did see a vendor that I was quite familiar with, and that was Ollie. He had enormous slate of comics. So I just went a little crazy going through my checklists and picking up, and he had half price, so he gives half price and then some. So I picked up 2 copies because I really like it. This is Dark Horse Presents #1. This is the first printing. This is the first appearance of Concrete by Paul Chadwick, which is a character and a series of miniseries that Chadwick did that I really, really enjoyed. So that's going... Where did I put that? They're both potentially pressable candidates because that book is worth more than $200 in a 9.0. And I kind of... The back of my spec head thinks that maybe, just maybe someday, that will become a an option property. I think I think it's an interesting enough concept. And then I picked up, because for some reason I stopped collecting after issue number 6 of Volume 2, the ongoing series, a bunch of Batman Beyond books. I don't think there are any keys amongst here, but these are all kind of sought after, especially in higher grade. So, a Barbara Gordon flashback. That's pretty cool. $18, $19, $20, and $20, and no, that was it, $20. So those are all... I'm running out of space to put my PC books. And then I showed you the 2 Action comics that I got earlier. I think now I just needed this one. I couldn't find it. Solid. This does have some issues with it. But Action Comics 472. I now have every issue of Action Comics from 300 up. So I'm going to kind of just pump the brakes on my Action Comics. I was kind of trying to fill that in recently. I'll pump the brakes on that and just see what I have. I probably have stuff lying around that I'm not even aware of under 300. So that kind of completes the run. So then the last vendor, because we had to leave because my buddy was going to a concert that night, so he had to get home, drop me off, go home, pick his wife up, and go drive to the concert. So he had a very busy day. So there was another... my buddy had sent me a picture, a snapshot of a vendor that had a section of romance books. I went there and I picked up Girls Love. This is from DC 1972, but I already have a copy of this from the previous vendor, so I'm going to look to see. I think this one is a little bit nicer. And then I picked up, this is a little bit interesting, right? So I saw this book, and I know it's from DC 1973, right? Because it's this... now only 20 cents, first in comics, best in comics. That's like July, August. And if there, I don't see a number on it. And it's really hard to make out. You probably can't even see it in the camera. This little discoloration here, right? It looks like it's in the red of, it looks like, I guess that's a piece of wood, a log. Like they're in a log cabin, I guess. And it looks like they printed it but they didn't realize that the colors wouldn't contrast to see the month, right? So I looked it up. Okay, this is issue 143. I need it. Then I'm digging further in the box, and I find another one. But this one has the issue number and the month on it. So you can see it's the same book, but one has this. And I haven't found a lot of information about this. Like, I went to put it in my CLZ app. You go on to Cover Price. There's no indication of a variant. Nobody's really getting this book graded anyway. I mean, maybe if you had a 9.8 contender, it would be worth it. But it's two versions of the same book. But I haven't seen a lot of information about that as a specific variant. But I just thought it was something cool, and I figured, yeah, let me get both copies. I'm collecting every DC book from 72, and there really aren't many variants in 1972. So that is the haul. Again, I wasn't picking up any major keys. It was basically, I guess the biggest key I picked up, other than the Golden Age books, was the first cover appearance of Zatanna. And then, I mean, depending on how the Venom book grades out. And then probably the biggest book I did buy, the one I spent the most money on, was the Blue Beetle. And this is one of the few Golden Age characters who was not Marvel, Timely, Fawcett, or Quality that survived. Because he got kind of picked up by Charlton in the 60s, and DC bought Charlton out, and he was even alluded to in the film of Blue Beetle. So it was a great show. I'd spent a bunch of money on collections recently, and I really wasn't. I didn't really want to look for like big, high money value keys to fill in my collection. Yeah, sure, there's some Silver Age keys that I need. I don't need anything that I want. But I was just kind of, let's fill some runs. Let's find, let's work on the 72 run and the May 46 run. And I did a lot of that. I finished a couple of runs and the Simpsons run is not an easy run to finish. I think I have every issue because I haven't gotten to the end yet. Because I'm still reading books from 2010 and Simpsons comics. How long did that go on? From Bongo, it ran for 245 issues. I probably have how many? I know I have through. I haven't cataloged anything after like issue. I think it's about issue 170. So I still have a whole bunch of issues that I have to catalog, but I know I was getting them on my pull list every month, so hopefully they're there. I consider the run complete. If not, it's only going to be a book here or there that I have to track down. But the Simpsons books are increasing in popularity, and not a whole lot of people collected them, and it is a major part of American pop culture over the last half century. So. Yeah, it's a fun run to complete, and that was it. I was happy with the books that I got. Again, nothing earth-shattering, but just fun books. And almost every one of the books, other than a very small handful, are going into the PC in some form or another. So that is my exhausting weekend in Baltimore. I'd like to thank you for stopping by and taking a look at my video. You can take a look at a couple of other videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.